there's a whole lot more hidden or variable costs that will come into factor when on your braces journey. It's another episode of Life Lately with Lindani. Yeah. Hi, guys. This is my third episode of Life Lately with Lindani. A big thank you to you guys for viewing my previous episode. We are on 200 views. I thoroughly appreciate it. That was the episode I did of having my braces installed. So hopefully this episode will continue with the same momentum. Please ensure, however, that you like, comment, and subscribe, and you share the videos as well, as I actually take you on this journey of having braces as a 36-year-old woman, as an adult. Yeah, I know, cringy, but it is what it is. You know, having braces installed is not a matter of aesthetics for me. It was more so about fixing one of my biggest insecurities I've had since I was a little girl, and that is obviously my overbite, my overcrowding, and obviously my asymmetry. You get what I'm saying? Because when I speak, my one side slants, and I just wish I had that perfect, everything is just in balance. But you know what? I'm on a braces journey for 11 months, and a lot can happen in this 11 months. I'm pretty excited. I had my braces installed in March, I believe, just after the 20th. So I'm about to complete my 1 full month of having my braces installed. And these are the top 10 things that I'm going to share with you that I wish I knew before I got my braces installed. Let's get into it. The top 10 things I wish I knew before getting my braces installed. Number one is that the braces will cost more than the sticker price or the initial quote. By sticker price, I'm referring to that, you know, the price that you saw when you saw that promotion from that orthodontist or the dentist. Honey, that is not going to be the price that you're going to pay for your braces. There's a whole lot more hidden or variable costs that will come into factor when on your braces journey. So usually the sticker price or the quote is just including the routine checkups or the initial hardware. All right. Your bill will unfortunately be adjusted as well based on the severity of your problems as well as the longevity of your treatment. So the hidden or variable costs, I will refer down because I've had to make some notes. Number one, the diagnostic fees or the consultation. I've been doing my research for a good 2 years, and if there's one thing that's common across all the orthodontists and the dentists that I got in contact with, that sticker price or initial quote is not including the consultation fee. I am based in South Africa, and on average, the consultation cost is between 1.8 if they are really cheap to up to even maximum 3,000 rand. You cannot get your braces installed without having the diagnostic done or having the consultation done, because that's where you're going to have your x-rays done, your 3D scans, as well as your diagnostic photos. You cannot get away with having that done. Number two, your pre-braces prep. Yes, you've done your consultation, but before you could have your braces installed, as you've seen in my previous video, you need to have certain things done. In some instances, for me, it was just only a scale and polish so that my teeth could have like a smooth surface for the abrasion to stick on in order for the brackets to stick properly and glue on really hard. But you're also going to need other things. In some instances, you may need fillings or you may need like tooth extractions. So those things you cannot get away with. You cannot tell the doctor, please skip that process, just get the braces on. It's just not going to happen. Number three, complexity and duration is also a factor that could actually up the sticker price or the initial quote. So if your teeth are moving at a slower pace, possibly because you're missing your appointments or your brackets fell off and you did not go and have them repaired, that could slow down the process. Or in some cases, if your case is really severe, that could ensure or that could cause the duration to extend longer than what the doctors had initially anticipated. So you will obviously need more adjustment appointments, and that is gonna cost some ka-ching, okay? And also fourthly, additional appliances. So beyond the brackets and the wires and the rubber bands or the O bands. In some cases, some people require like add-ons like palatal expanders, headgear, or functional appliances that can also add a significant cost. I'm lucky I'm an adult. I usually see that in young kids, so I did not have to get that done, and my case is not as severe, quite honestly. Another thing that will up the initial sticker price or the quote is the repairs and replacements. Yes. Repeatedly breaking brackets or losing wires by eating things that you should not be eating, or having oral habits that put you at risk of breaking your brackets, will mean that you're gonna have to pay out of pocket for the replacements. Yes, that monthly fee that you pay and your payment plan is not covering the replacement of appliances. That is going to be extra money that needs to be funded from your own pocket. And lastly, on the things that will actually increase your initial sticker price or initial quote will definitely be the post-treatment care. So retainers are essential. You cannot continue on your journey of having beautiful straight teeth not unless you've got retainers, and retainers need to be worn every day. I believe for the first 3 months of having your braces taken off. Thereafter, you can get away with having retainers on once or twice a week, I believe. But your retainers are important in keeping your teeth straight. You've paid a lot of money and you are going to have to pay an extra amount of money for the retainers. So we're looking at a good one, about 3.5 to 5,000 Rand for retainers extra in South Africa. So that is number one of the things that I wish I knew before I got my braces installed. So number two of the top 10 things I wish I knew before getting my braces installed is that medical aids in South Africa do not typically cover the braces. Yes, they may actually cover certain support aspects of getting the braces installed, like the consultations, the scale and polish, the fillings, the washes, the extractions. But having the actual braces installed and the routine checkups, that we usually see in top tier comprehensive plans. I'm talking plans where on a monthly basis, you would end up even paying more than what it is to actually have the full treatment plan for your braces. And another thing that people need to be aware of is that medical aids use underwriting category. So you may take up a medical aid thinking that you may have coverage to have the braces installed immediately, only to find that your category may require that you serve out your waiting periods first. So you would initially be paying for a medical aid that you wouldn't be able to use for what it is that you want to use it for the first 12 months. So medical aids only cover braces on really top tier comprehensive plans, but on the lower end plans, you can get away with certain aspects of the braces. But typically, medical aids in South Africa do not really cover the braces. It'll obviously depend on your plan type and medical aid scheme. But I'm going to do a more comprehensive video on that, and we're going to discuss whether or not your medical aid option will cover your braces. Number 3 of the top 10 things I wish I knew before I got my braces installed is that your oral hygiene is going to change significantly. Yes, you're going to have to do away with that toothbrush. You're going to have to do away with not brushing your teeth after each and every meal, because that's going to become your reality. Yep. Okay. So it's unfortunate that because you've got all these metal mazes going on in your mouth, food are honestly going to be trapped in between those spaces. So typically you need to brush your teeth after each and every meal. Also, most importantly, you need to invest in a water flosser. I never believed that I needed a water flosser, not up until I realized how much easier it was for me to have the food come off of the teeth and the brackets, as well as the metal wire. Once I've actually gulped a really high amount of water in my mouth and I swoosh it around and I spit it out, that was the easiest way for me to get the food out that's trapped in the wires. Also, you're going to need specialized flossers. Braces require specialized flossers that a person without braces would typically need. If possible, get yourself an Oral-B toothbrush. I found it much easier for me to brush my teeth, because now you need to brush your teeth at a specific angle, an angle that would allow for some of the bristles to get in between the metal spaces. And also, when you've got braces, there's a high likelihood that you rely on chewing with your back teeth or your wisdom teeth. Therefore, a small head brush will ensure that you're able to effectively brush those small spaces, because if you do not take care of your oral health when you've got braces, you are just only increasing the breeding ground for bacteria. Braces unfortunately make you more susceptible to cavities, and that's the last thing that you need on your braces journey, because it could either, one, really stall the process, or two, make the process much more costlier for you. This leads me to number 4. Water is extremely critical when you've got braces. I've never drunk as much water as I do now that I've got braces, because water acts as a gentle cleaning agent for your braces. So water, number 1, dislodges the food. Remember, I said in my previous point that the fact that I've been drinking a lot of water is also one of the reasons why I realized that I need a water flosser, because water dislodges the food. After I've eaten, the first thing I do before brushing my teeth is I gulp a lot of water, swish it around my mouth, and then I spit it out. That does dislodge some food. And another thing is water neutralizes acid. So bacteria thrives in a very dry mouth, right? And when you've got a moist environment, that neutralizes the acid, and that ensures that you've got a not so volatile breeding ground for bacteria. And also it prevents staining. So I always have my coffee first thing after gym in the morning, followed by lots of water, because I don't want to stain my teeth, because I'm very fearful of using really strong brightening agents or toothpastes while on this braces journey, because already my teeth are super sensitive. So I avoid things like super strong bleaching agents. I avoid even drinking lemon water. I really avoid it. But water is critical when you're on your braces journey to ensure that you also have a clean, fresh breath. Number 5. This one was so unexpected for me. And that is that braces change the way you speak. Not just only from the sounds you make, but also the movement of your lips. So people have realized that since I've gotten my braces, I speak with a pout. But one thing that I've also been aware of is that I now have a lisp, and also I've noticed that I mispronounce certain words. And that's going to happen obviously because you've got an obstruction in your mouth. So there's not enough space for certain movements and for certain sounds to come out. Expect that, anticipate that, make peace with it. I do believe it does get better. I'm only just 1 month into my journey, so I don't know when or how long it will take for it to get better. But yes, the way you speak, the sounds, how you pronounce words, the sounds, the shape, the movement of your mouth will change. Some people have even noticed the actual lip shape change. Some people believe that now they've had braces, their lips are slightly smaller, but in my case, I've noticed that I've still retained the same lip size. However, I do have a slight pout. Yes. I find myself having to constantly, after I've actually laughed a lot, I have to fix my mouth. So it's usually like, what's this? So then I constantly have this pout. That's my new shape. That's my new lip shape, and I've made peace with it because I know at the end of the day, it will be worth it. Number 6, braces do not have to hurt to make them effective. When I first got my braces, I was worried because I did not feel any pain at all. And initially, when I was prepping myself for getting my braces installed, I watched a lot of videos, and the common theme was the brace pain, which I unfortunately did not have. And I had to sit there wondering, does this mean that I'm actually going to have an effective brace journey? Was I being played with? Was I scammed? What's the deal? But actually, it's quite common to not have any pain once you've gotten your braces installed initially, because when you start on your braces journey, they put put in light wires. Light wires are so that you can get used to the fact that there is an obstruction in your mouth and to just slightly have movement of your teeth. But one of the ways that I realized that the braces are actually effective, even though I'm not feeling pain, was that I would have like a sort of like a tingling sensation of the gums. Yes, it would feel as though my gums are tingling or they're being tickled, but there was just some sensation of the gums. And then I knew that there's actually a medical term for it. I forgot what the medical term is, but that's how I knew that my braces are effective, even though I'm not feeling any pain at all. Number 7, this was actually quite a hard one for me. Braces do not impact intimacy at all. I was worried. I was like, how's a kiss gonna be? How is a kiss gonna be with braces? I'm not talking about all the other extra things, no. I'm talking about just, like normal intimacy kisses. And actually, the braces do not impact intimacy at all. Yes. Obviously, I would not encourage other acts of intimacy with braces. I have not even attempted to perform other acts of intimacy with braces, but braces do not impact intimacy at all. If there's one thing that would possibly impact intimacy with braces, would possibly be if you're not really fully aware and taking care of your oral hygiene, and as a result you may have bad breath and your partner picks up on the whiff and does not want to reciprocate the kiss, because let's be honest, braces do make you more susceptible to bacteria, and bacteria could cause things like cavities and also bad breath, and gingivitis amongst other things. So intimacy when referring to the actual physical form of kissing, it does not impact at all. But what could impact is if you do not particularly take care of your oral hygiene, and unfortunately your partner is not pleased with your breath, that then may impact intimacy. Number 8, people will treat you differently. So some people will be happy for you, some people will be not so happy for you, and some people will just simply not care. But I think people treat you differently based on the visual changes that the braces may cause, the level of self-confidence that you will now have because you've got braces, and also because of social stereotypes. Some people believe that because you've got braces, either you've got a little bit of extra cash to spare, therefore there will be a certain perception of you. Some people will believe or treat you according to the fact that they think you're seeking attention, because for some people braces is not such a medical need, more so than an aesthetic for them. But for me, it was, like I've indicated, it was never about attention. It was never aesthetics. It was about fixing a medical complexity, which is my overcrowding, my overbite, and my asymmetry. Okay. But another thing is, I think as your facial structure changes as well, if you were not so attractive, you could be slightly attractive. I know that since I've gotten braces, I tend to look just maybe 2-3 years younger than my actual age, and as a result there's a certain kind of demographic that I'm now attracting. And I just noticed this quite recently when I was at a social gathering. So yes, people's treatment of you, perception of you will change when you have braces. Number 9, braces will impact you psychologically. Yes, they will impact you psychologically. The good, the bad, the ugly, the tears, the joys, that's going to happen. And I have experienced some level of the psychological impact, even though I'm just 1 month into my braces. So the first couple of days, I was super excited. I was really, really on top of the world. I was feeling good. And then a couple of days thereafter, I was frustrated for some reason. I was frustrated because I realized that there's a lot of things that I had to change. Number 1, dietary wise, and I wish that I had binged on so many of my favorite foods. The other frustration was that I love chewing on bones, and unfortunately I cannot chew on bones, and this is something that I'm gonna have to make peace with for the next 12 months, if not maximum 18 months, that I will not be able to chew on bones. But another thing, I was super self-conscious. Immediately after my braces were installed, I felt so ugly. I almost instantly regretted that decision within that hour. Yeah, within that hour. And then as the hours went on, I started to feel myself. Okay, I started to feel myself. But in certain social settings, I am still very much self-conscious, simply based off of the fact that people do unfortunately treat you differently when you've got braces. And sometimes when I'm in social settings, I wonder, are they thinking that I'm seeking attention with having braces? Are they thinking that I'm being childish? This is for young kids. A lot of things run through your head when you've got braces. Another thing, do I have food? Do I have debris on my teeth? Does my mouth smell good? A lot of things run through your head when you're in social settings, when you do have braces, more specifically as an adult with braces. Social anxiety and stress in general. There are days where I feel like, do I really need this in my mouth? Like, I honestly wake up sometimes and wonder, do I really, really need to have braces? Because I just miss certain aspects of just having my mouth without anything. Because honestly, they do hurt sometimes. Sometimes they do hurt. Sometimes it's frustrating when you want to eat and drink something that you want to eat and drink. It will impact you. All right, so number 10 of the things that I wish I knew before getting braces is that result one day will be a completely different result the next day. Good the next day, far worse the next day. So in summary, it will get worse before it can get better. So I wish I had trained my mind to not be so result obsessed from the first day. That's it. Number 10, do not be result obsessed, because your results will change significantly within a second, a minute, a day, an hour, a month. So always wanting to see results every day will actually add to the anxiety and the frustration of having the braces, because you could literally go a full 3 months with no results at all, and the results come and they are just there for a complete week. Then the following week the results have reverted to far worse than what you were. So rather use this braces journey to actually give yourself a timeline of other things that you would like to achieve. For example, I decided to couple my braces journey with my weight loss journey. I've also decided to couple it with my hair growth journey and my studies journey. So I'm using this time to fully get to know myself as I change my face, as I change my teeth. I'm using it to change other aspects of my life as well. 11 months is quite a long time for one to be able to see results far beyond the teeth. So enjoy the process, learn as much as you can about the process, and if you can as well, create a YouTube channel, create a TikTok channel, create a social media channel where you're teaching other people or having other people experience your braces journey, because quite literally there's a lot of us adults who want to start the braces journey and there's not enough information for us. But either way, thank you so much for watching this video. I thoroughly appreciate the likes. Can we now get the comments? Can we not get the subscriptions up as well? Till next time, have a fantastic one. Next time I am going to be touching on whether or not your medical aid will cover your braces, because this is one of the most commonly asked questions about braces in South Africa.